Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Boss Rush Games Live reacts to the PlayStation 5 reveal stream. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is that retro code, Eddie V.
I found a new friend with food.
I know. Yeah. Uh, by that, Ed means we are joined by a very special guest, Celeste Roberts, from another
Yay!
Zelda podcast.
Hey guys, thanks for having me tonight. It's really nice to meet you, and I love talking about video games and meeting new people and talking about food.
Yeah, check out our
Yes.
snack cast coming soon.
Uh,
Before we started recording, there was a large discussion about food, and now I'm like, I kind of want Taco Bell, but I also kind of want like real food, and now I'm just hungry. Thanks, guys. You made me hungry.
You're welcome.
Um, yeah, Celeste, why don't you tell everybody where we can find you and what you do and where you are on the internet and why people should follow you.
Well, a few years ago, I just started listening to podcasts and I would type different categories and I was looking for a Zelda one, and that's how I found Another Zelda podcast with hosts David Geisler and Kate May. And I just reached out to David expressing my appreciation for the podcast, and I said I like to write. And now I've been contributing blogs and articles, and I'm an editor now. Gosh, since last year, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter at FairyCrypt, FAERIECRYPT, and also on Instagram with the same name. So I really like Nintendo especially, but I am interested in trying other games like things on Xbox and PlayStation. For computers, I usually play The Sims. That's my main computer game.
That's fair. I mean, why not? Sims is popular. I used to play The Sims a lot when I
Hmm.
was a wee lad. So.
Not
But
me. I was into Roller Coaster Tycoon.
yeah, I mean, I was
Oh,
too.
yes,
I was
yes.
too. Obviously, don't buy the Switch version. It's real bad. I'm telling you, it's worst $50 I ever spent in my life.
$50. It's $50.
Yeah, it's an expensive one. So
Oh.
yeah, don't spend that money. I wouldn't even spend $10 on it, to be honest. If at that point you should just download the mobile version and I don't know, it's bad. Uh, yeah, so Celeste is actually going to join us on Nintendo Power Block this week as well. So if you're joining us live on Twitch, that's moving to tomorrow night. I know Thursdays you're usually expecting us to talk about Nintendo, uh, which, judging by some of these trailers, we might touch on Nintendo a little bit uh, in certain points. But this is a PlayStation 5 reveal stream. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna kind of talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and kind of you'll see the trailers and stuff behind us, and it was a I to before we start. We all kind of touched on certain parts of it before we started. I was thoroughly, actually, pretty impressed with this reveal. A lot of the games had a lot going for them. A lot of them I'll probably end up playing on Xbox because that's our platform of choice. But the exclusives, like the Spider-Man reveal was awesome. The Miles Morales thing, I have a lot of questions, but I still think I can't believe that they're turning that game around in 2 years, that's amazing to me. No pun intended. The Sackboy 3D platformer was really cute and looked like something I would dive into.
Which I have a question for y'all. Did y'all feel like get Super Mario 3D World
Yes,
vibes to it?
yes, that was the first thought that I popped into my head. I was like, I think Sony's making Super Mario 3D World with Sackboy in it, and
Which is weird. Which is also weird that Media Mario Clue is not doing it. I'm
well, I
like,
mean, Sumo Digital, the developer of this game, also did Little Big Planet 3, so they're no stranger to
okay,
Little Big Planet.
good. Okay.
And then obviously the big one for me, which will be the game that makes me purchase this console, this hideous ridiculous looking
we
box.
we would talk about that
I know.
when it comes up.
But the game that's going to get me to buy this is Horizon 2 Forbidden. What is it? The Forbidden West?
Forbidden West, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I really gotta give it up to Gorilla. They put that art that they did. I'm like, oh, you guys need to make a collection, and I need a book of this.
I'm telling you, that is my favorite PlayStation 4 game. It is in my top 5 favorite games of all time, and I think that Aloy is such a cool character. That whole concept of, the entire game. I don't want to spoil it because I'm sure a lot of people might not have played it who watched this stream and are now looking for that game, which is $9 on Amazon right now. So if you have not played it, it is going to be PlayStation's Zelda.
And if you want to see me and Corey talk about it, go look up our Pod and Play. I think season 3.
Yeah,
we dive into Forza, and this. Yeah, I told Corey that when I first seen Horizon Zero Dawn, I did not like the game. That trailer didn't tell me nothing, and then I was just like, I'm gonna get it, and play through everything, and I just love what Gorilla did. It felt like a brand new experience. The story is amazing, and it's just like it's a cast of diverse characters, and I think that really shocked me. And it's a great, phenomenal game. If y'all didn't give Breath of the Wild for Game of the Year, Horizon Zero Dawn definitely deserved it. Yeah,
absolutely. And if you don't have a PlayStation 4 and don't want to buy one for Horizon, it is coming to PC. It's $39.99 with all the DLC included. This, to me, Horizon is PlayStation's must-play game.
Yes.
We will talk about it more when we get there, but yes, I agree. This is the system that's going to make, or this is the game that's going to make me buy this system. So also, I'm hoping that this game is like 1.5 to 2 years out, and it comes with a really cool collector's edition console, so I can
because like I said, I want an art book for this. So Guerrilla Games, do what y'all need to do. Even though you're not watching this, I am awaiting for what they have planned, because it looks like it's going to be somewhat a continuation, but more of the world opened up.
Yeah, definitely. So Celeste, what did you think of some of the stuff that you saw?
I really want to play that game Stray because I have 2 cats and I love cats, and it looks like a little area in Japan. Yes. It looks absolutely beautiful, and I'm intrigued. What is going on? It said something about no hope for humans was scrawled on the wall, so that caught my attention. Is this cat the last living mammal with a little backpack on its back? That really caught my attention. Okay, I thought Kenna Bridge of Spirits when I was watching the preview. I thought that was, for a few seconds, I thought, is this Beyond Good and Evil 2?
I see the vibe of that. Yes.
I was so excited.
What was crazy is just even the voice, even though it would have sounded different, the voice has that game's idea. So I'm just like, whoever voiced this needs to voice that game. Yeah.
So good. And she's sitting in the, I think it's called the lotus position, or we would call it Indian style in school, where you cross your legs. And she has that staff, and I thought, okay, this looks like jade a little bit, but it's not jade. And what are those cute little suit-looking?
Yes.
It reminded me of Spirited Away with the little creature.
Yes. Yes.
A little cuddlier. I'm gonna go put my light on because I look like a floating head right now.
You mentioned one of my favorite.
I know. Jesse's gonna flip when he hears this too. Like that game definitely looked really. That looked like the type of game that, like, Ed, we talk about it a lot. PlayStation is really known for their third-person action, kind of gritty, realistic style games, and this was such a change of direction for them that I got excited. Not because it was a change for PlayStation, right? It was a change. It was a smart change, an aesthetic change, a beautiful change. And so, that was definitely something that stood out.
Like, that's a must-have for me for PlayStation 5. Like, I'm already getting the system, but yeah, that's literally on my list of a must-have.
Yeah. So, I really was shocked at how excited I was for a PlayStation 5 reveal. I like some PlayStation franchises. I'm not one of those people who's excited for, The Last of Us or Ghost of Tsushima looks pretty fun, but the games that were shown today were really speaking to me, and that's what got me excited. So we're gonna press play on this video here. We're gonna kind of watch it and talk about more of the PlayStation 5. We can talk about what's playing. We don't have to talk about what's playing, but it's so 3, 2, 1, play. Right? Play. Yes, that's the word. By the way they open this presentation with these bright blues and white kind of PlayStation symbols, you would say, kind of morphing in and out of each other, was a really cool, really unnecessarily overproduced but super appreciated animations. I loved it. But yeah, I mean, PlayStation 5 revealed today. We have a lot to say about the box in general,
which is so ironic that yes, we still got Microsoft's first party stuff. It's just like, why were the games a hit and like making people excited, but not the system? It's so weird. I've never felt that way in the system in this reveal. Like, everybody's excited for all the stuff that's coming, and then if you are a big PlayStation fan, you love the system. But then everybody started clowning it and joking on it, saying it's like an internet wireless thing, router. It's
yeah. Did you see what Jesse put online? Jesse was like, if you buy, or maybe he responded to a tweet of it or something, but he was like, yeah, if you put the Xbox Series X next to the PlayStation 5, you're gonna have a pretty cool gaming PC with a really nice router.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it was how they opened the show, honestly, was kind of weird with, I mean, they showed a PlayStation 4 highlight reel of some of the best games on PlayStation 4. Obviously, hopefully those will be backwards compatible. I'm assuming, they did kind of say that, but then there's a lot of mixed messaging about that. But then they opened with Grand Theft Auto 5, and I was like, this is an odd tone to set for this console, because Grand Theft Auto 5 came out on PlayStation 3, and like, I saw half the chat was going crazy because they're like, are they doing PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility? Which, I'm kind of surprised that they're not still, but and then people were like, no, I think they're bringing this game to PlayStation 5 again. And everybody's like, oh. So it was an odd way to open.
I haven't played GTA Online. Have you guys tried it out?
I took the game off. I did not like GTA 5 at all.
Yeah.
I don't like the characters and the story and some of the controls. I literally deleted that game from a PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I played a little bit of the online, but I'm not really the biggest Grand Theft Auto guy either. I mean, I appreciate what the game does and what it has meant to the industry when it, especially starting with 3 and Vice City, but it's just never really been my thing. I don't think it plays well. I don't really care for like the humor and stuff, but it's just one of those things that's not for me. So.
And I understand what they try to go for, but it's just like, why would you give me a character, definitely with Grand Theft Auto 5, why would you get a character who's supposed to be riding along with me and just doing terrible commentary instead of helping me out? And I think Sleeping Dogs fixed that, where some of the characters, they would drive and you just did the shooting. You didn't have to think about the driving. And so, yeah, if people are happy for Grand Theft Auto 5 on PS5, congrats to them.
I've only watched people play it, and it looks interesting. I just heard online apparently is bringing them in some money.
Yeah.
Time.
One of our friends who streams Zombie Kills role plays has a role playing stream of Grand Theft Auto where I think her and her friend play like attorneys and they help people who are in trouble and they like get into character and everything. So
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and
that's creative. That's really creative.
Yeah.
They've been doing it on PC for a while, where you enter the game and you have to go by real world rules.
Yeah.
So you're not an outlaw.
No.
No.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's like gangs, and then there's a whole like cops and robbers type server where half like you can go in as part of like the cops, and the other half goes in as a gang, and you have to try to take each other down. It's really interesting. Some of the stuff that people are they're making their own rules in this giant sandbox, which is super interesting.
I love it.
Yeah. I miss the day where like Shuhei and Adam Boyes would come out and like talk like real human beings. No offense to Jim Ryan, but he's definitely like a corporate face. Even Sean Layden,
Is he the one from Guerrilla Games that they moved?
No, he's the he was head of Sony Interactive Entertainment Europe. And then when they kind of shuffled everybody around and kind of merged all of them into one, he became head of Sony Interactive Entertainment. And then the guy from Guerrilla Games is actually head of first party development now. So
okay.
But yeah, okay, so the first real game they showed off was Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first of all, just to be real clear, I liked swinging in Spider-Man and not much else in the PlayStation 4 game. But everything I heard about the story was really interesting in what they were doing. 2 years in 2020 to turn a game around is unprecedented, honestly. Especially a big, huge AAA Marvel budgeted game from Sony is amazing. I know Insomniac has 3 teams, right? I know one team was working on Spider-Man, the other team's working on Ratchet and Clank, which is also shown in this. So this third team that was, probably part of it was the Spider-Man team, and the other part was their VR team since their VR game came out to turn this around. And I'm sure this is a Uncharted Lost Legacy situation, right? Where it's there. I have a lot of questions about this game actually, because like, is it the second game, or is this like, are there going to be 2 Spider-Man series running side by side that are in the same universe?
There's going to be 2 because the ones that Sony has, they have 2 running. So the Miles Morales one is the animated one that came out, and then you got the I think is it Homecoming, or the one that he was part of the MCU that they allow Marvel to use. He's kind of like the game that Insomniac put out. So they're kind of like splitting it.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah.
With it, which I gotta say, that Miles Morales Spider-Man was sleep-worthy. It put me to bed quickly. I did not like that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it yet either. It wasn't as good as the other one.
It seems like a lot of people actually really like it, but
I don't know why. It was just like, it felt like every time he tried to do something and tried to save, the people he was with always downplayed him, always yelled at him. Yeah. And it never made him feel good. And it was just like, you can't do this almost 4 times for every fight in this game. I mean, in this movie. And so I was just like, I'm going to bed. And I went to sleep.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, Gran Turismo looks good. And I'm kind of happy they are bringing it back.
I'm surprised they put the number on it, to be honest with you. I was expecting them to just say, this is Gran Turismo. It's going to be our driving platform, right? It's just going to be the game that, you play throughout the life cycle of the PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation 5. And then, I just expect all these games that have a lot of DLC and online components to be games as a service now. Destiny, Fortnite, Apex. I just expected Gran Turismo to be the one that did that first for Sony.
But I think it's been losing audience because like the games haven't been selling.
Forza especially is like the game to go to now for drivers, right?
That's a beautiful game.
Yeah.
But I think it's very real. It's very weird because Horizon is the top spot. Yeah. Motorsport is second, and well, if I add Nintendo, Mario Kart is first, Horizon is second, Motorsport is third, and then
Crash.
Gran Turismo is like fourth. Crash.
Yeah. Well,
you know, I mean, as a continuous series.
Yeah.
And games like that, because I would add Need for Speed, but that would be like 5 because that's up and down.
Yeah, they've been. Yeah. So, but yeah, I kind of want to go back to Spider-Man for a second. I think it's interesting that that's a good move for them to launch with Spider-Man. You know, I mean, every game needs that launch title, right? And with Xbox kind of going, you know, we're going to support Xbox One with our first-party games as well as Series X with Halo and ultimately probably Forza and whatever other first-party games they have coming out in that short time. To have games like Spider-Man at launch is such a smart move to sell systems because Sony made it very clear that they are shifting generations, right? That's their whole thing, and to launch with a big character and a big name like Spider-Man is so smart. You know, even if it's not Peter Parker Spider-Man, it's still Spider-Man. It's still a name that people recognize, and But Celeste, you've been kind of quiet. I know Ed and I kind of dominated the conversation.
Oh no,
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I play more Nintendo games, but I like to play some independent games on PlayStation. I really like walking simulators, for example, like What Remains of Edith Finch, Firewatch. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. And I see that there is an indie game that looks really cute. It had the animation style that reminded me of those chill hop lo-fi videos that are really popular on YouTube to listen to in the background.
Is it Goodbye Volcano High?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that really caught my attention.
I'm trying to figure out because I'm like, do I get this or do I not? And I think I need more info because just the way that the voice acting in that trailer was so good. It did this like anime version of Undertale kind of style and feel to it. I'm like, I may need this, and it's one of those feelings that I'm like, I don't want this digital. I want this physical, like literally physical. Like I want a hard copy of this. And if I can't get it, Celeste, forgive me, I have to buy it digitally. To me, that game is literally pre-order, download, buy worthy. Because I'm just like this. She's telling a story where it feels like she's still in high school, and she's part of a rock band. And if it got some good music for it, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love those slice of life type shows and movies, just the media, just focusing on the ordinary, because let's be honest, most people lead pretty boring ordinary lives, which isn't, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. That means there's nothing wrong going on. And then when you can focus on that, I really like that. It's very peaceful to me. And having graduated high school 13 years ago, it's interesting to look back and see
she's the young one of the group.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, just the concerns that you have in high school, and you reflect back on it, and then to see younger people, what they freak out over. Oh, it'll be okay. I assure you, it'll be okay.
It's like, oh man, if those were the problems I only had today, then I would be okay, you know. Man.
I mean, Ratchet and Clank is this game out definitely.
Dude, like when they remade the first one, that game was so good. We did a pod and play episode on that as well. It was so colorful and vibrant and stuff, and like I'm glad that it seems like Sony's going that direction again with games and stuff, and Ratchet is just I think Ratchet's the perfect example of that. I'm more of a Jak and Daxter guy myself. The first one, I didn't play the other two, but that first one was so awesome on PlayStation 2. Which one of the rumors was they were going to show Jak and Daxter remake today, but obviously we got a second Ratchet game, which is cool that Insomniac is putting in the work to put 2 games out within a launch window. But yeah, this game, it looks like a Pixar movie, to be honest with you. It's
The only problem I'm going to have with this game is that half of the weapons are going to be used and half of the weapons are not.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a game about trial and error and finding what weapons you like and which ones you don't, you know.
But even like when they're all powered up, you really only end up using like 2 to 3 guns in a Ratchet & Clank game, and it's just like I don't know. The weapons are creative. I love. That's what I do love about Insomniac. When it comes to their guns, they are probably the best at being creative with nades and powers and stuff.
Yeah, especially that power where he has that lasso that can shift him through dimensions in this game.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're showing it right now where he throws the lasso at this kind of like I don't know, this yellow shield-looking thing, and he breaks it and it pulls him through dimension. Oh, it looks so cool, and those are the types of things I'm looking for on this next generation that are like, what can this generation do that last generation couldn't? And that is something that shifting through dimensions like that without loading is something that I think you're going to be seeing a lot more of.
That's a really great point. Loading screens. I mean, think about how many games we played where if you wanted to open a door, it took almost a minute to go through.
Yeah.
Let's see how well that SSD does for the loaded thing. Yeah. Okay, so Luminous Production.
Final Fantasy 15's team.
Yeah. It's really weird that they call themselves that and they don't use the engine anymore.
I know. Well, I mean, they named themselves that because they built that engine from the ground up for Final Fantasy 15, and then they just started using Unreal Engine now. But this...
I kind of wonder if they're using it for this.
Yeah, this is Unreal 5. They've confirmed Project ATHIA is running on Unreal Engine 5. Just like Hellblade 2, which Celeste, I don't know if you played Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
I've looked up videos of it because I was reading, I don't know if you call them scholarly articles, but they were talking about how it addresses mental illness.
I
thought that was a really cool.
Yeah, if you like, you said you're kind of into walking simulators and exploring games of exploration. That game is one of the best games to do that. It's a very short experience. It's only about 7 or 8 hours, I think, at the most. Yeah. The combat I could do without. There are sections of combat they're not hard. They're just kind of there to add some action to the game. But the puzzles are awesome. The lore stones that you find these lore stones, and it tells the story of the game as well as kind of the history of the Celtic people also.
Oh, so, that is awesome.
Yeah.
I think is this straight? No Escape. I think this is. I think this is Stray. Is it?
This is because it's the cat. Yeah, I really recommend Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. It is on Switch. It's on Xbox. It's on Game Pass if you have Game Pass. It's on everything. So,
and the thing I loved about Hellblade was that when it came to Xbox, they were just like every copy purchased, Ninja Theory will donate, and they made over $1 million. Like within maybe.
I think within the first week they donated over $1 million to mental health charities.
And they had already made good sales on PlayStation 4 when it first came out.
So I was very impressed with the background of that game because I was reading they actually consulted psychiatrists.
Mm-hmm. They're credited in the game at the very beginning. They have the doctors that they consulted at the front of the game, which is really cool.
2021, I need Stray now. Every time I look at it now, I'm just like, from an artistic point of view, yes. And to play as a cat, I'm like, that's gonna be fun.
By the way, one last point on Hellblade. Wear headphones. They actually tell you that at the beginning of the game to wear headphones because it adds to the because since she is has psychosis, she hears voices kind of all around her, and the headphones kind of put you in that headspace, and it's really unique, and it messes with your mind quite a bit actually. So it's headphones are recommended for sure.
Are they going to have the sequel for the PlayStation 5, or is that an Xbox X?
It's Series X now.
Yeah, it's
exclusive.
They haven't really said if it's coming to other platforms. It's coming to PC for sure, but it's weird because Microsoft bought the studio that made the first game after they made the first game. So I'm thinking it is an Xbox Series X exclusive. An Xbox exclusive. It'll be on PC also, but I don't know. Microsoft's strategy is so weird.
Well, like Wasteland 3 is coming to PC and PS4.
Yeah.
Because it's in exile, and whoever is the publisher of the other Wastelands, they're doing the publishing, so Microsoft is not touching it. Since Ninja Theory developed and published Hellblade, I think depending on how their contract is, the wording and everything, Ninja Theory can possibility port that to PlayStation 5 and Switch or in PC if they want to.
I wonder if it'll just be a timed exclusive. Like Xbox will have it exclusive for a year, and then they'll put it on other platforms. That would be my guess, because that game, I think Microsoft wants to get that out there, that message that they're sending is important, and that game has a very important message behind it. So I think that would be like a good guy move for Microsoft. Plus, they get 70% of the revenue on other consoles, or right? No, 30% of the revenue off the other consoles anyway, so... No, it's 70, right? 70-30 split between publisher and developer, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and it just makes sense to do that because Microsoft already owns Bleeding Edge with Ninja Theory.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
This game looks interesting.
Yeah, no, it does. It really does.
Oh, go ahead, Corey.
I was just going to say Microsoft is probably looking to sell more copies of that game because it will be on Game Pass, and I think Game Pass has 12 million subscribers now. So people aren't going to be actually paying for that game with Game Pass. They're just paying for Game Pass. So any way they can sell more copies of that game will be better for them. So
yeah, and because all the systems are getting Unreal 5, as crazy as it seems, I would take a downport version on Switch.
Yeah.
I'm like, I will, because I kind of feel like if PlayStation gets it, Nintendo should get it, so that there is a completion for the series.
Yeah.
For that game.
Yeah. So the game we're looking at, this is Housemarque's new game, which it's called Returnal. Is it like this is a roguelike, isn't it? This is one of those games where if you die, you have to start over, and it just starts randomly spitting you out places.
Oh, God.
In May, I was thinking of the Tom Cruise movie Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of, too. Live, Die, Repeat, or whatever it's called. Edge of Tomorrow.
It does have the Housemarque style, arcade style, with like shooting the guns really fast and everything being colorful.
Yeah. Okay, this is the Little Big Planet game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah. I'm so happy that Sackboy is getting like a real game.
I didn't understand how his face looked. Oh, I'm sorry, Celeste. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I've only played it a little bit, Little Big Planet, with friends, and I was just wondering. I know that he was the main character, but I wonder why they decided to change the name.
I think people associate Little Big Planet with making levels and designing their own levels, and Sackboy is the character. And I think if you just say, "Oh, this is just a Sackboy game," there's no creation in it. I mean, there might be a little bit of creation, but we want you to really differentiate it, because I think their creation game is Dreams now, and they don't need 2 creation games. And Sackboy is still a really cute character that they can sell to kids, right? So I think that differential really helps them say we can still utilize Sackboy and this world we've created without actually having players create the world. So
I think they have more. Sackboy has more notability than Knack.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So with this game kind of being like their Super Mario platforming kind of game, I think it will appeal more to those who like to play platformers.
Yeah, and families too, because it's clearly a 4-player game. The the thing I hope that they do, which I know they won't because contracts and licensing deals and stuff, if you purchase costumes in Little Big Planet 1, 2, or 3, that'd be so cool if you would be able to use them in this game. Because they did do that content transfer for all 4 of the Little Big Planet games. If you bought costumes in 1 or 2, you could use them in 3 in the Vita version. So,
and shout out to Sumo Digital for not trying to rip off Yoshi's Island Crafted World.
Yeah.
And not go for that look and making gamers mad if they ever did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really thought this was Twisted Metal.
Dude, I thought it was like a 21st century hipster Twisted Metal. Like, I totally expected when they jumped in the cars towards the end that there would be some sort of hipster, what's the clown, Sweet Tooth in a big truck, like, or you know, even the Twisted Metal characters come out and like kill all these these weird characters. Somebody said that this was just their answer to Bleeding Edge with cars.
I thought it was Rocket League at first. I thought it'd be doing Rocket League, but with evil.
I definitely could see it now.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I don't... Like, if they're making a car combat game, they have a car combat game. It's called Twisted Metal. Why did they go and make a new one?
And the title of this game is so generic.
What? I don't even remember what it is.
Destruction All-Stars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Remember the last time they used that name?
I think it's trying to be kid-friendly with, like, ARMS and Splatoon being Nintendo's big, I guess, similar game.
She's really on your level. She brought up ARMS. Ed thinks there's going to be an ARMS 2 sooner than you think. We have a running bet.
I need to play it. I've only seen pictures and video of it, but it looks so fun.
It is fun. ARMS is fun.
Good workout, too. I was right, Corey, about Resident Evil 8 being shown in the conference. And then that you may fight Chris.
You were. You did say that. You said, what if Chris is the bad guy?
Oh, God.
I mean, to be fair, it's probably some sort of deceptive cutscene, you know? But, you know, they did play around with that in Resident Evil 6 with Chris, where he's kind of, like, gone a little crazy because of everything that he's gone through. And, you know, but I know a lot of people didn't play that game, so... But those little things are so cute. I want one for my desk. This game, it's such a beautiful looking game. Somebody brought up Kubo and the Two Strings too.
Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't, but I know the aesthetic, and I've been wanting to watch it for a long time.
Oh, you have
it
got
looks
to
so
watch
good.
it.
Yeah.
So that you haven't seen it? Oh,
I still need to watch that and Coco.
Oh, Coco's so good too.
Yeah.
Coco's a beautiful movie.
I heard I'm gonna cry.
You are.
I did it. I didn't cry.
Because you have no soul.
I do have a soul. It was just like, oh, okay, yeah. Up is still better, but
yeah. If you didn't cry it Up, Ed, you are a heartless human being.
Then you go watch Tales of the Fireflies and see what happens.
No, I don't want to be sad.
Oh, Grave of the Fireflies.
I heard it's going to make me cry, so I don't know if I want to watch it. The world's so sad enough. I have to.
Yeah, stay. If you're gonna cry, if you feel like you're gonna cry, stay away from it. I actually, sorry, side tangent. I actually went to our theater, and they were just doing the Studio Ghibli festival. So every month they would do like 3 days they would do his movies. Where every time I went, I got the Japanese track. I wanted to see it Japanese with everybody, and Grave of the Fireflies was one of them that I saw actually in Japanese in Japan for the first time, and people was crying. I was just eating my nachos and cheese.
I want this game so bad.
Yeah.
This game gives me real Zelda meets Horizon vibes, and such a. I want this game so bad.
Yeah, it's a must-have.
Yeah. When did they put a release date on that?
No, they didn't.
Well, looks like I better save up for PlayStation 5 and Horizon, Spider-Man, and
this is the one.
Yeah, this is the game you guys were talking about earlier.
Yes.
I love the art style.
Sometimes I feel like I'm just standing on the
edge. I wonder, is this a Japanese developer or American developed company?
Who did they say was developing it? Did they put a developer at the beginning? I missed it. If they did.
No, I think they do it at the end.
Maybe it's the fear that I'll never be as good as
Jesse is in the chat, and so is Pat NSR.
But if we've got nothing else to lose,
welcome.
Might as well jump.
Jesse, we know you're always here. It surprised me. Jesse said he was actually really excited for a PlayStation 5. So.
They didn't release the price of it yet.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, I love the look of this game.
Co-op presents.
It's the end of an era. Is that like a double thing where like they're graduating high school and like the end of the dinosaurs, since they're all kind of like dinosaur kids?
It's kind of, it looks like, in high school, two best friends were just great friends living their lives, and then I guess when they got older, one of them kind of met a new crowd and separated. So the end of an era is probably like the end of a friendship, that era of their friendship.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that's not a meteor in the title.
Yeah. What if that's like how the game ends? It's kind of like Dinosaur for the Disney show, where they just murdered all the dinosaurs in the very last episode.
They can't do that.
The Jim Henson dinosaurs with the baby?
Yeah.
Oh, the little egg baby? Because I think in Fantasia there's a segment with very dramatic music and the dinosaurs are all dying.
Yeah. I'm not impressed about this Oddworld game.
I mean, the only Oddworld game I really love is Stranger's Wrath. And I know Soulstorm is the game he's been wanting to make since the PlayStation 1. But Lorne, I respect Lorne Lanning as a creator and a game designer, but his attitude towards certain people and things has always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. He's very... I mean, just from interviews and stuff, he seems like one of those people, if he doesn't get his way, he kind of badmouths them in a way, and like I'm just not, because like I remember when he was working with Xbox and he wanted, like, Xbox was kind of giving him this was like really old Xbox days, but they were kind of giving him the runaround on stuff, and they just wouldn't participate or cooperate with what he wanted to do, and I don't know, he's always had bad stuff to say about Microsoft and Nintendo, and funny enough, his games are selling on Nintendo and Xbox, so I don't know. He's just always rubbed me the wrong way.
What was this, Psychosis or Synopsis or whatever our word was when it came to PlayStation 1? Because he's been on that, he's been at EA.
And now he's independent. So
yeah.
Oh, Pat NSR is the guy I work with. Okay, I think he just texted me actually. He did. Hi, Patrick.
This Ghost World Tokyo. What did you think of it, Celeste?
Ghost World Tokyo. I don't think it really left an impression on me when I was watching it. I think it was trying to be like super mysterious to where I didn't get a lot of the story. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of those trailers. I mean, it looks cool. I try not to judge too much, I guess, until I actually play it. Because there have been games that I was judging it by its cover, and then I ended up playing it, and I thought, wow, this is actually brilliant. What about you guys?
I don't know. It felt like this is a Dreamcast 3 kind of game. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. Yeah. I don't know.
I wonder how much. Remember, the creative director left last year, shortly after E3. What was her name? The girl that everybody loved when she introduced this game. Shoot,
because she went to she's 7 Platinum make a game.
Yeah, I know.
For it.
So I wonder how much of that has changed, but I mean, it looks cool, right? I mean, it's got a cool aesthetic to it, but it doesn't look like anything we haven't seen before. And like the way the character is moving, like the character you're controlling is moving, reminds me of. This is gonna sound really bad, but it reminds me of Red Steel on Wii, the first one.
I wouldn't even say Red Steel. This is pretty much Mirror Edge 2.
Yeah, it kind of has a Mirror's Edge type of thing, like a horror aimed Mirror's Edge look to it.
But actually with the fighting and stuff, yeah, I can see the Red Steel stuff in it now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an odd. I think people would have rather had the Evil Within 3, to be honest. But because that's the same developer, for people who are listening and don't know. But
it's something I'll wait for a review for.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I probably won't get it. I'm not into spooky horror, and this game looks like it probably has some of that in it. So yeah.
Celeste, is it up your alley, or?
I'm gonna have to see it. So I really love like Resident Evil lore, but I tried playing 7 and I get so terrified.
That's fair. I've only played Resident Evil 1 and I love the Resident Evil. I think the lore of Resident Evil is interesting. Not a series I want to play, although in October these fools are making me play Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake, and because we do a video game book club. Every month we do a video game book club now. We're actually working on Tomb Raider right now, but our October game, since they're so short, we're doing Resident Evil 2 and 3 back to back, and not looking forward to it. So.
Or the storytelling, the voice acting are excellent. I guess I'm not a fan of like jump scares. I guess because when I'm done with work, I just kind of want to unwind.
Yeah.
To the day. Maybe the Ghostwire game will be pretty cool. I mean, the graphics look really beautiful.
Yeah, graphic wise, it looks very impressive. I love the aesthetic. It's just the gameplay. I think it's just like this don't look anything that I haven't seen or done before in past games or generations, I should say. I really thought this was Resogun too.
This? I didn't know what this was.
Jet the Far Shore. I don't know if this is a sequel or if it's a new property.
I don't know. I don't. It looks pretty. But I mean, a lot of games, if it doesn't look pretty at this point, like, you know what I mean? It just kind of feels like if your game doesn't look, if it's not going for a specific style. Oh my gosh, this is the Godfall game, which this was not the music I was expecting to hear during this trailer. Let's be honest. This really hip rap song, like not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool song. Like, I'm enjoying the music. It's just I don't know if it goes with this trailer.
It's so weird that people were that this got announced at the Game Awards last year, and then I looked at it. I'm like, this is I've done this stuff before. Like, there's nothing new about this. I don't know. I pass.
I'll play Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning when it comes out.
Is it supposed to be like a lion helmet he's wearing?
See, we don't know. I'm so confused. I think so. Like, this is kind of like a game, like a loot-based kind of action RPG style game where you're like picking up better armor and weapons and replacing the ones you have to use the new ones. But I don't.
But is it arena based?
No, it's an open world action RPG. So the combat looks cool, but like I said, like it's so weird to watch these trailers and to try to find something that you haven't seen before. There are games here that are doing stuff that you haven't seen, but when you see a trailer that you've done this a million times, it's just kind of unimpressive. And like, Square has Babylon's Fall with Platinum Games, which I'm sure is a similar style game to that, and I'm sure we'll have a not to badmouth like the developer or anything, but anything Gearbox publishes at this point I don't really want to support, because Randy Pitchford is a insert any sort of terrible human being adjective here. Like, he's just a piece of work. I after what they did to that studio after Borderlands 3 came out, like, not really want to support that publisher like at all.
And it sucks that you want to support the developers and not him.
Yeah, and it sucks because they did such good work with Borderlands 3 that it comes down to one human, But by the way, speaking of good-looking games, the Heart Machine, who made Hyper Light Drifter, is making Solar Ash, which looks incredible. This is a game I want to play. So,
I think I will watch you play it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it was this one that reminded me of Journey a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely it does.
When in the desert scene, before it looks like a huge goddess is speaking to her.
Yeah.
I gotta finish Journey. I've been working on it. I think I'm almost done with it on PlayStation 4.
I don't know. I've started Journey quite a few times and I just haven't finished it. So.
Yeah, me and Jesse was watching this together, and I couldn't say nothing about this game.
What, this one?
Yeah, for Hitman 3.
Yeah.
I couldn't say anything. I'm like, he has to watch this.
Yeah.
So.
Are you guys Hitman series fans?
It's an interesting game that I like watching people play, but it's one of those games where I don't have the patience for it. I just don't.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ed, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm like,
you find yourself alone.
I was just gonna say that I respect the series. I think when they keep changing it up and I try to learn it, I kind of feel like I think I did enough. So I mean, I respect the series. It's good. I think sometimes it's just not for me. But like if it's on sale or something, I'll pick it up on sale. I'll give it a try.
I've never played. I've just seen images.
Yeah, it's kind of like a open, like they turn it into like these open cities where you kind of go and do missions, but after you beat like the quote serious story, there's all of these funny kind of like tongue-in-cheek missions or the things you can do in the game. The developers know that you want to do stupid stuff with it, and they like there's a briefcase that you can find and throw at people, but the briefcase, if you attach something to the briefcase, it follows the person through the air and just spins until the person dies, like that kind of stuff. So it's I watch Giant Bomb is a group that I watch a lot, and they do something called Hitsmas, during Christmas where they play through. They have like 4 hats that they pull things out of. Like, what costume are you gonna wear? And they pull out a thing. Like, they'll say, okay, this is the level that you're playing. Here's the costume you have to wear. Here's what you have to kill someone with, and then here's your target on this level. And that, like, someone had to wear like a chef's outfit, and they had to kill someone with a fire extinguisher, and then push them off the roof of the building. And a chef's outfit with a fire extinguisher was how they had to kill someone. It's just that kind of stuff is funny to watch, but I don't have the patience for that at all.
Hitman sounds pretty ominous, like they want to take out their family members that are aggravating them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you came to my house during Christmas, you would think that too sometimes. So, okay, this is the Astrobot game, right?
Yes.
No longer in VR? Is that what we're watching?
Yes. It's more now as a platform game.
Yeah.
3D platform game.
Which is cool, but they already seem to have a first-party platformer in Sackboy now.
But it looks like they're trying to go for the Mario Odyssey style with this.
Yeah, that's true. But Super Mario 3D World's better. In my opinion.
That one's so fun. That music is outstanding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We could talk about the music all day if you want.
I love that music game.
It's so good.
It needs to be on Switch. Come on, Nintendo. Announce that next month.
Do you guys still have a Wii U?
I do. It's plugged in.
Yes, I do. Yep.
Me too.
My Wii U is plugged in and not my PlayStation 4.
Now,
be fair,
this is the one.
To be fair, my PlayStation 4 is plugged in now. Because I recently got a new TV and I wanted to see Horizon in 4K. And spoilers, it looks amazing.
I need to. Well,
the snow looks amazing when it's falling around you. Aloy's outfits and the way like the cloth moves is it's a great video game.
See, I don't have a Pro, so I don't know if it does 4K.
Patrick asks, "What's a Wii U?" Jerk.
This is a must buy. I love this.
Yeah, this game looks interesting. It looks very exploration heavy. Definitely interesting. For sure.
He's a butler. I wonder.
Yeah.
Did the butler do it? Is it one of those murder mysteries?
With a bomb from a rope. This stream was longer than I thought. I guess when you're just kind of like scrolling through it to see what you want to watch, just goes faster. I didn't realize it was this long. I thought it was only like a half hour, 40 minutes.
No, it was an hour 14.
Oh, wow. Well, sorry, Celeste, you're stuck with us for another.
Oh, that's okay. I think we're all in the same time zone, Central Time.
I'm in Eastern Time, but...
oh, you poor thing. You must be exhausted.
It's past my bedtime, really. No,
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Because
Look, I tell Ed I'm tired, but I still stay up 3 hours later than I tell him that, and then we always end up recording something, and then I'm just like, Ed, I'm tired. And then I'll get up in the middle of the night, and I'll be like, Ed, I'm still tired. And then he'll respond, and I won't see it because I've already fallen back asleep.
Sleep. Or I'll like, Ed, I'm going to bed, then pop up, oh, there go Corey, giant bomb video player.
Yeah. I watch it to fall asleep. Like, it helps me fall asleep. I've been watching the Exquisite Core where they're playing through XCOM, and it puts me to sleep, and it's great. Which is funny because I actually want to watch it, but it just puts me to sleep. So.
What did you think of this, of NBA 2K1?
I was happy that Louisiana was represented.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think he's a cover athlete.
Zion Williamson.
Yeah. Oh, Cavs really messed that up. Jerks. We were supposed to get him.
Well, we used to have Anthony Davis, but I think he wanted to move on to bigger and better teams.
Yeah, he's on the Lakers now. with LeBron, the other person that wanted to move on to bigger and better things. So don't mention LeBron in this chat with Patrick, because he'll be sad. Monster, he says.
I'm assuming that this game is gonna come out at launch.
What?
I wonder if NBA 2K.
Oh yeah.
21.
Yeah. Also confirmed for Switch though, so that's where I'll be playing it, because that's when I'm in bed and I need something to play that's real simple. I play some.
Okay. Did anyone get anything out of this?
I couldn't tell if it was trying to be Pikmin or Viva Pinata. And then it didn't succeed at either one.
And I'm like, is this a student project movie? I'm like, what is this?
With a little strawberry?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute, but I don't know.
A living strawberry, and he's just gonna eat him. That's so mean. He has a face. Don't eat it.
Like this belongs on Nick Kids or something.
Is that supposed to be a seal or walrus?
From the creators,
I think
of
a walrus.
That explains why it's so weird, because Octodad was weird. Celeste, did you play Octodad? Do you know what it is?
No,
it's it's an interesting physics-based game where like you use the 4 trigger buttons to move. One trigger, like the left trigger, is controlled as the left side of your body, like L1 is your arm and L2 is your leg, and then the right side triggers control the other side of your body. And it's puzzles based around how well you can maneuver through the world, and then you use the sticks to balance yourself. It's funny, but it's also incredibly frustrating.
I'm looking it up. Does he have a human wife and human kids?
Yes, he does.
And he kind of looks like, I think his name's Zoidberg from Futurama.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that's Octodad. It's Octodad is a frustratingly good time. And then if you do 2-player Octodad, one person controls one side of the body and the other person controls the other side of the body.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Frustration.
Yeah. So yeah, Octodad's interesting game. It came out at a time when physics-based games weren't really a big thing. So.
What did you play it on?
I think I played it on PlayStation 4 when it came out. It's on Switch now. But yeah, it was not a good time after the first 5 minutes. Like it's funny to watch him tumble and fall over things, and like because I mean the whole point of the game is like this octopus trying to imitate human life, and he can't because he's an octopus. So
yet he managed to reproduce.
I mean, I think that's that lady's problem. Oh, Shuhei.
I have something very near and dear to me.
Hey, Shuhei.
I know.
That's one person I do give Sony props to is Shuhei. He is he's positive, and I love his energy.
Mm-hmm.
I actually replied to him, be like, Shuhei, be safe and have fun, eat well, and he liked the tweet and everything because he was like in like London. Mm-hmm. And stuff, and it was just like it's good when I see Shuhei do something. Just like just from a Nintendo fan, love to you, man.
Yeah. Okay. When this is the Demon Souls trailer, right?
Yes.
I don't know, man. Dark Souls is a series that I just I can't. I respect what the series does. I understand there are a ton of fans. I played Dark Souls 1, I played through Bloodborne, and I will say that I am done. But I do give Blue Point props because this looks like a very beautiful remake of that first game.
And it seems that I guess Sony owns the IP?
Sony owns the Demon Souls IP, which is why the game they made after this was called Dark Souls, so they could put it on multiple platforms. But Demon Souls is actually the first game.
Okay, so From Software only made it for Sony, and Sony retains the IP.
And it's the same case with Bloodborne. Sony owns the Bloodborne IP.
Right.
So, but I'm glad. I mean, this was one of the worst kept secrets, right? That Blue Point was making the remake.
Yeah.
So,
I'm really shocked that no one complained that Bloodborne wasn't shown.
Yeah.
Two, I should say.
Yeah, well, I don't think you want to put Bloodborne and Demon Souls on the floor at the same time when they're trying to accomplish the same thing, you know? Maybe Bloodborne's next year or 2 years from now.
I will say, Japan Studios making a lot of games for PlayStation 5.
Yeah, well, they are a huge internal support team. You know, they do a lot.
Yeah, because they used to make their own games, right? A lot.
I think Team Eco was positioned inside Studio
Japan. Okay.
So.
And shout out to Bluepoint. They do some phenomenal work on their remasters.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, that Uncharted trilogy was very good. The Titanfall 360 version was very good. Rise of the Tomb Raider, I think they helped on for 360. They do very good port work. They did the Shadow of the Colossus remake. They did.
Yes.
So, yeah, Bluepoint, great port studio. So what is this game? I missed this. Has a kind of. Ooh. Okay. There's a lot of murder going on right now. Oh, this is the. Is this the Deathloop game? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't miss this. I just started it late. I'm kind of sad they didn't go back to Dishonored.
Well, this is the follow-up from the E3.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they changed a lot of things because, like, after looking at Rage 2 and stuff like that, I wonder if they.
Yeah, but that's two different studios, though. I think Arcane knows what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to Rage 2. I thought it was a interesting game. I think it's still on Game Pass. I might actually give it another go, but Rage is a franchise that just has had two goes, and it's just not something people want, I think. So good thing Doom sold well. That's all I can say for Bethesda, and Skyrim has been ported to 9,000 consoles, including your refrigerator and your Alexa. So
it looks like they're trying to do a Quentin Tarantino with the.
Yeah, that's what people said when it was first revealed. It was like a very Quentin Tarantino kind of like what was that one movie that he produced but didn't direct?
It was like a two-part.
Yeah,
piece.
that one.
Grindhouse.
Was it?
Yeah, that.
Those anthologies?
Yeah,
yeah.
The movies she's talking about. That's what this gives me vibes of. I didn't see them, but I saw the trailers a lot. So, yeah, you got any interest in this for you guys? I know the chat is pretty interested in
I think I would the way that it looks, you know, when they show the wording and stuff, like I would wear that as a hoodie, like apparel.
Mm-hmm.
Game wise,
yeah, I like the aesthetic of like the title screens and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so fun.
I think I would need to read Game Informer.
Yeah,
do a cover story on this.
Yeah,
because I don't know if is this multiplayer or is this single player?
It is multiplayer.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Celeste, any interest? Any?
It looks pretty cool. I want to know the story. That's what grasps me the most in games like this. What's going on? What's the objective? Are they the good guys, the bad guys?
Both, depending on what time. His story comes to a close. Oh, this is the Resident Evil trailer, right?
Yeah.
I would love Patrick just brought up the game. Remember the game Wet for PlayStation 3, Ed?
Yes.
He just brought that game up in the chat. That game was really. It was a game that came out.
It was an idea.
Yeah.
Called Wet?
Yeah.
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 I'm looking this up.
Yeah. It's very,
Oh, okay. I see the... Yeah, it kind of looks like the Howlin' For You video-esque from Black... What is it called? What is that band called? Oh my gosh, that band with the two guys.
Ooh.
Jesse, help us out here, because everybody knows that I am the resident music expert on this podcast.
The Black Keys.
Black Keys. Oh, they're from
Black
Akron.
Keys. The two white dudes.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they have a song called "Howlin' For You," and the music video is again like this. I'm looking at the image for Wet for PlayStation 3, and she looks like she could fit into that music video. This girl's on revenge. She's not taking no for any answer.
This is a pretty looking game. Definitely.
It looks different. Yeah, because it's running on the Resident Evil 7 engine. Yeah, it looks different.
Yeah. It definitely the witch thing, the werewolf thing, those rumors were definitely true. Definitely has some Code Veronica vibes to it because of the extra supernatural stuff in it. Really cool reveal. Also very scary, and I will wait for Jesse to play this game and ask him about it, and then I will listen to podcasts about the Resident Evil lore behind it.
I really hope they remake Code Veronica.
It's the rumor.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, they're on a hot trail right now. Why stop?
I'm very... If they skip Code Veronica and go straight to 4, I think a lot of people are going to be very disappointed, because I think a lot of people still hold 4 in high regard.
Yeah.
So I think 4 is a game that you wait on and make an event. That's just my opinion.
It's probably the most popular Resident Evil out of all of them.
Yeah.
It started the whole, because of Resident Evil 4, that's why people have Gears of War in a lot of third-person action games over the shoulder.
Yeah. The creator of Gears of War has said probably 4 or 5 times in interviews that Resident Evil 4 was a direct inspiration for Gears of War. So
I really thought this game was Vanquish 2.
No, dude, I thought this was Death Stranding DLC.
Ooh, I can see it now. Yeah,
the suit, and like this is just coming from someone who didn't play Death Stranding, and that spacesuit is very iconic to that game, right? Like, and so then I saw this little girl. I'm like, who is this? Is this her daughter? Is this his daughter? Is this her daughter? What's happening here? I have expected Norman Reedus to pop out of the suit, and then the stream I was watching was like, is this Horizon? Like, did she find a functioning city within the world of Horizon? I was like, oh, this is a direction to take that series.
She got that Capcom Resident Evil hair.
Yeah.
Is this going to be another escort savior type game?
Well, I hope not. We don't need any more of those.
Have you guys ever played A Plague Tale?
I have it. I played a little bit of it.
It's on Game Pass. I downloaded it because it is something... We do a show called What's This on Xbox Game Pass, where after our Xbox show, we kind of stream something unique or weird or sometimes bad game off of Game Pass and throw it up on our YouTube page. And that's one of the games on my short list.
Because I kind of thought of it with having to escort your little brother in Plague Tale.
Yeah.
Pragmata.
Yeah. So, yeah, I heard a lot of great things about that game, honestly.
It's very good. It's beautiful. You just kind of want to throw your brother into the river.
You can't do that and just beat it by yourself?
No, the whole point of the game is to get him to safety. So, unfortunately, that would defeat the whole thing.
Well, see, if you just end his life right away, then the game is over, and you're like, I beat it. No, is that not how that works?
Yeah, that was smart of Sony revealing for the next 2 years what they got planned for games.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, they said they were going to show games for the next 2 to 3 years, which they did. When I saw this trailer, This is the Horizon trailer, everybody in the chat, if you haven't watched it already. This is the game that I said I need a PlayStation 5. 100%. I
thought it was actually new IP when they first showed it, because I didn't get no vibes of Horizon until I seen Aloy.
Well, I saw the trees, and then when you look at that first shot of the trailer, those aren't trees. Those are buildings where the vegetation has grown up through the buildings. They're not trees. And I was like, oh man, that's very cool. Because you saw some of that in the first game, but it was more of like a valley in middle Colorado, and there's not really a lot of city style spaces in that. But this is definitely, I think this is very a West Coast vibe, because you see the Golden Gate Bridge, very obvious landmark. And when you just see Aloy running across the beach on this, on her mount, it just is, man. And then you see how these, like, the real animals are being affected by the plague plants.
Yeah. Because when the first game, there's really no animals. Everything is robotic.
Yeah. It's there's not really a lot of like real animals in the first game. So, but the fact that they're adding like underwater areas, it's, man, this game every time, like even the soundtrack. I'm not a huge music person, but there are certain soundtracks.
I love that shot. When she's riding and it's moving.
Yeah.
In the red background. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about Horizon that every time I hear the music, I hear Aloy talk, I see things happening in the world. It's just like, there's certain games that have very big emotional impacts, and Horizon, for some reason, is one of those games that every time I see something Horizon, I just feel something. You know, maybe it's because like it's the last game I beat before my kid was born. Maybe it's something to do with, you know, just life experiences at the time, but it's this and Breath of the Wild are like the two games that I think about all the time. I think about Horizon and Zelda weekly, honestly, still, and I played them when they came out. Right?
And this one feels like it is still going for that Zelda vibe, but it feels like she's restoring the land.
Yeah, it feels more like Assassin's Creed Odyssey in that way, where like when you find these new areas, you kind of have to clear them out, but also has a Zelda vibe of it's rewarding exploration, it looks like. But Celeste, thoughts on Horizon?
Absolutely beautiful. I've watched my boyfriend play the Zero Dawn, and I'm very intrigued. I want to know. I want to play it myself because the story sounds so cool.
The story.
You have to, this is the thing about it. The story and the side quest that goes to this game, you have to do. You just got. It feels like we can't tell you about it, but you have to visit and just like.
Plus the game, if you take the time to do the side content and get to know the side characters and do like help them with what they need, it rewards you at the end. Like it actually, it's not just like, oh, go give me like 6 herbs and you've completed my side quest. No, there's actually story elements that loop into other story elements as you meet these characters, and it's kind of about like uniting tribes to fight a greater evil, even though the tribes are kind of against each other in one way or another, but the side quests really kind of support that idea and really bring it all together in a unique and interesting way, especially at the end. So I would, it's to do everything in the game, I think it's about 30-ish hours. It's not that long of a game, but it's very rewarding to do the side stuff, and the characters are so unique and interesting. A lot of really cool characters in the game as well. So definitely, if you get a chance, I would highly recommend. Like I said, if I was to give a list of 10 games you must play this generation, Horizon would be probably 2 or 3 on that list. So.
That looks beautiful. absolutely gorgeous.
Okay, so what's happening right now? I was like, why is it taking so long? What is this? I thought they were about to reveal like I thought this was kind of like an interlude to something else, but no, this is a very highly produced animation to reveal the console. And
I thought it was going to have that Tower Xbox kind of look to it, and then it just morphs into something.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I know people in the chat. I feel like people in the chat really like it, but people in my Twitter feed either love it or hate it. There's no in between. But it definitely has a look that people are talking about, and that's something that I think, in all fairness, is good for the console. Like, if people are talking about it, people are talking about it, and all publicity is good publicity in the end, right? So
the thing about it is, I like the middle part with the blue coming out.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't have what they got with the white stuff,
yeah,
I would be fine with how the system looks. That looks cool. If it didn't have that white part on.
Yeah. Also,
sandwich.
What, a sandwich? Yeah.
Like a sandwich.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say real quick, like the surprise reveal of the all digital edition. That's a way that they can compete with Xbox's second console. I feel like, even though I know disk drives aren't really that expensive anymore. But,
yeah. See, if they had the black part and then like to light it up, you would see the cross, the square, their button combination. Like when you light it up, the PS5 lights through those, and they just had that without the white stuff. I think that would have looked like a dope system, like making it really small and stuff, or compact.
Yeah, I do think the digital edition looks better than the one with the disc drive, because it just got some junk in the trunk on that. For lack of better terms, I would say.
And I love the controller. The controller is phenomenal. I love that controller.
Yeah, it's growing on me.
It looks pretty.
I'm assuming those are the accessories to it.
Yeah, the headset looks, it looks like a headset. It looks cool. I have that nice one that Ed got for me. Like, I told him not to, but he did anyway. So I use it every day, Ed. That headset. Every day. So good.
Nice.
So yeah, that was the PlayStation 4 reveal. Overall, what kind of grade would you guys give this reveal? I think that it was. I think the video itself was a little long, but what would you guys say about the reveal of this thing?
I would give it an A-. The games look phenomenal. It looks like they're hitting different areas. There's a lot of games on there that people are going to be interested and ready to buy. There's a lot of must-haves. Horizon 2 is phenomenal, breathtaking, and that's the system seller. I think the system itself is the reason that this all kind of dropped to a minus. Like, I'm not knocking Sony for the games. I'm knocking Sony for the system itself, the design. They could do better. Don't get me wrong. The George Foreman grill of the PS3 and the Kit Kat Pro, whatever they had for PlayStation 4, it's an upgrade, but they could have designed the system better, for me personally.
George Foreman grill. Oh my goodness, I love it.
Yeah. Celeste, what about you?
I'd have to say an A, because even though the design's a little different it doesn't seem very ergonomic for the system, the games look outstanding. The presentation, that they can tell a story in less than a minute for those games, that's really hard to do in marketing, to sell in that short amount of time, to intrigue you. And I really like that indie games are getting more to the forefront now too.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I think they did honestly an excellent job of highlighting indie games, which is something we've actually been knocking PlayStation for a long time now. At the beginning they said indies were a vital part of PlayStation 4, and then about 2 or 3 years in, when they started really pushing their first party stuff, they kind of put indies in the background, to be honest, because they were putting out Uncharted and then God of War and Days Gone, and all their major first party titles were coming. And that's where Nintendo, especially at a time where Nintendo was picking up the indie slack so hard in 2017 and 18, indies are selling like crazy on the Switch, and Xbox is putting their indies in their Game Pass program. Sony kind of dropped the ball a little bit on indies, and I'm glad to see that Sony is really supporting indies, especially, Solar Ash from the Heart Machine and some of these other really cool, interesting, unique looking indie games that we just haven't seen at least featured on a Sony platform in a long time. Definitely really strong indie showing for sure. So
what would you give it?
I would have to say, in terms of the entire presentation, the pacing and the games that they showed, a lot of surprises. I would say that this was about as good as they could do, except for the design of the console, obviously. But I mean, I don't think that has anything to do with the presentation. I just think that it's just not a console that I think is aesthetically pleasing. But
I think the build up to the console reveal was the thing that probably kind of like, yeah, you showed me all these great games, and then you revealed this as a console.
Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, this thing's just going to sit in my entertainment center for 4 or 5 years and not really be seen, to be honest. So as long as the games are amazing, the other thing I think I would knock Sony for is price. Like I am shocked they didn't announce how much this thing was going to cost, except for the simple fact that Microsoft has already gone out there and said, we're going to be agile on our price. Phil Spencer got the okay to say from Microsoft CEO, CFO, they can take a hit on that console because of Game Pass and because Microsoft as a company offers so many other products that's making money up in the loss that the Xbox Series X will take. So if Sony comes out at $500, Microsoft can undercut them $50. That's a game, right? If somebody wants to buy a game or 2 indie games, or in Microsoft's case, that's 3 months of Game Pass. So
I think the discussion is going to be is if Horizon, because I don't know what they did Horizon for next year, or they didn't really give a date.
They didn't give a date. It's probably next holiday, I'm assuming.
Next holiday. If Horizon was the leading game for PlayStation 5's release, Halo Infinite would be definitely Microsoft's game for release, and they would go toe to toe. Which game which going to sell systems? Is both games going to do it? Is Horizon
if you have an Xbox One,
than Halo Infinite?
If you have an Xbox One, you don't need a Series X to play Halo Infinite. You need a PlayStation 5 to play Horizon and Spider-Man.
Yes,
I mean it's that simple. I mean, I think their strategies are so different at this point.
But to get people to look forward to their new system, I understand I agree with you, Corey. Completely agree with you. Microsoft has more of the advantage because they still have that open platform, where Sony's just like, if you want to play Horizon 2, you have no choice but to get a PlayStation 5. But it's the game that should be our system seller in this.
Yeah. So I'm actually really interested to see how Microsoft responds with their July event, because this was pretty darn near perfect of a presentation. This is as perfect as a presentation as you could get without really just crashing the stream, honestly. Like the pacing was very well done. The games, like you said, Ed, wide variety. Celeste, like you mentioned, lots of indie games mixed with great first party and third party support in there. Major titles like Spider-Man with the console, Horizon in the near future, Demon Souls in the near future. Like, those are 3 heavy hitters that Microsoft now has to compete with in the next year.
And to answer I think Deshaun asked that question. Does Nintendo have to worry about this? No, still to this very day, Nintendo has nothing to worry about. I don't think, as much as everything that we see here, everything that we're going to be seeing for Microsoft, I think as long as Nintendo has a consistent of games that people are willing to buy and are excited for, Nintendo doesn't have to worry about PlayStation and Microsoft. They would let them do what they do for their fan base or just gamers in general, and Nintendo would just continue to roll on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nintendo has its fans. I mean, it's been established for so long.
Yeah. And, Nintendo has people like all three of us who will buy Nintendo every time Nintendo comes out, and every time Zelda comes out, we will buy a console, right? I will own Nintendo. Nintendo is a reason why we are still podcasting today, right? Like it's what we love. It's where we grew up, right? Like NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, all those classic consoles that are just embedded in our DNA at this point. But in terms of competing, Nintendo's price, first of all, will keep them competing because it's going to be half the price. Second of all, you can only play Nintendo games on the Switch. And with Mario, Zelda, Metroid Prime 4 coming, Bayonetta 3 coming, which is exclusive, and everything in between that, like, that's going to keep people coming back to their Switches anyway. So I don't think Nintendo's going to have a problem selling units because, again, we go back to the thing where if Nintendo can be everybody's second console, they're going to win, right? Because you're going to either own a PlayStation and a Switch or an Xbox and a Switch. And, that's winning. If you can compete as somebody's second console, you're selling more than the other consoles. So,
yeah, and especially when indies see how Switch is doing with their turning those indies to physicals, I think those companies are still going to be making money off of Nintendo if they could sell them that physical.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's Nintendo's got its own charm, its own unique push, and their own unique, like, the Switch has hit the sweet spot of what everybody loves about Nintendo in terms of it's a home console, but it's also a handheld, and Nintendo's been dominating the handheld market for years, and it's the perfect storm, so I've always said that the Switch this is what Nintendo, if Nintendo goes back to splitting into a home console and a handheld, they're making the wrong decision. So I actually expect the Switch to last longer than most console generations. I think there's going to be a Switch Pro, a Switch 2, whatever, that's going to be able to play your old Switch games and stuff. I think that's the way Nintendo's going to go for the foreseeable future. And obviously, Nintendo's experimenting with theme parks and movies now, and probably some sort of Netflix deal, it'll probably be on Peacock because they got such a big deal with Universal now, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, they might have cartoons there. There's a lot Nintendo could do with their properties, and stuff, with Sony doing PlayStation Studios and doing their Last of Us HBO show. And video games are bleeding into other media now. Halo's got that Showtime TV show coming supposedly at some point.
The Last of Us.
Uncharted is coming at some point. Tomb Raider did well enough to get a sequel, apparently, so we're still getting that. So I don't know. Video games, man, they're everywhere. But yeah, does anybody have any final thoughts before we end the stream and end this show?
I'm excited for PlayStation 5. I'm not excited about the system, though. But the games that's coming from first, third, and indie, I like I said, I got a lot of must buys. Some I'll wait for reviews, but they did a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see what Microsoft is going to come with, and what Nintendo is just going to crazily announce. So it's a good time for gamers.
Don't worry, Nintendo will drop a trailer at like 3:00 in the morning for something that everybody will be excited for. So.
And then when you
Origami King was a tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much when you wake up, Corey, you'll see me like in big letters yelling at you.
Yeah. Celeste, any final thoughts?
I'm really impressed with how they marketed it. I'm very happy they were able to keep everything so concise yet entertaining. I'm looking forward to some of the really cute games as well as Resident Evil 8. Both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it looks like somebody's going to be joining that Resident Evil stream or book club episode. But yeah, I guess for me, like, I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how excited I am for PlayStation 5. The one thing I wanted to see was Horizon, and I got to see it, and I got like really excited and kind of emotional when I watched that trailer. To be honest, it was so. I don't know, man. I that game has a special place in my heart for sure, and
I literally might just revisit that game.
I think I'm going to, now that I just watched this video. I think I'm going to revisit it. But yeah, this was our PlayStation 5 reveal stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You can find the archive stream on YouTube and our website at bossrushgames.com. Might throw the audio up on the Boss Rush podcast feed. I think, obviously this is supposed to be watched as a video because we watched the video, but some people don't have time to watch videos and they just listen to podcasts like me. So, Celeste, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it. I'm really delighted to see your other content and to hang out with you guys some more.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Why don't you remind everybody where they can find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at FairyCrypt, FAERIECRYPT. I have cats, if that interests you. I post pictures of my cats.
People I hear love cat pictures. I hear cats are a thing on the internet.
Yep, and I'm with Another Zelda podcast, so please check them out at Another Zelda Pod on Twitter and Another Zelda Podcast on Instagram if you like Zelda.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me at Twitter at that retro code. Check me out on Boss Rush and check out Ocean Opinion on SoundCloud and other podcast apps and World 11 Podcasts.
Yeah, you can find me at I am Corey in HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at Corey in HD on Mixer and Twitch, and you can also find me on our plethora of content here on Boss Rush Games. Download our series of podcasts, watch our streams, watch our live shows. I think that's the direction we have kind of agreed to go towards is kind of streaming stuff. So please check it out. Check out our website. I have been inspired by Carl to write again. You guys sent your stuff in the group chat, so I've been working on some stuff. Of course, I'll look at it and delete it 5,000 times and then just get frustrated. But any writer goes through that, I think. So, but yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this live stream. Remember to like, subscribe, share, follow, rate, review, all that stuff wherever you're listening to this and watching this. Go to bossrushgames.com/subscribe to download all of our shows. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.